Hello and welcome back everybody to AXLE Racing on this lovely Saturday afternoon. We're ready to take on the Mugello Circuit once more for some qualifying. It's only a 10-minute session, so it's nice and short and sweet, but it means you've got to get your fast lap in nice and quick. So, without wasting any more time in the pit lane, let's hit the track. All to play for here today. We will be once again setting off at time intervals. So points aren't awarded for finishing position, but they are awarded for fastest laps. Third place getting 1 point, second place getting 2, and first place getting all 3 points in qualifying. Now we was fastest in practice yesterday with a 1:57. We're on some softer tyres today, so hopefully we can set a similar time or maybe even faster. We'll be keeping an eye on it. We do have some Group 4 cars ahead, which means we probably will run into some traffic along the way. So we'll keep an eye on it all, make sure we get a good gap. As the timer approaches us, we build up the revs. It's 3, 2, 1, go! And we're pretty well away off the line there. Obviously, I'm not intentionally trying to play catch up with the cars ahead. I know these Group 4 cars were the slowest around yesterday, but I do not also want to get caught up to by the cars behind as well. I want to make sure that we have a nice, solid, clean gap where we can get onto the track and really set some faster lap times. Oh, I didn't realise track limits were being watched there. As we probably stepped just a toe over the white line, but not to worry. Let's carry on with the lap. We want to get warmed up as quickly as possible. Given that it is just under a 2-minute lap, means we're probably only going to get 3, maybe 4 flying laps in here. You know, the cars at the very front will have 5 at the very most. And we're probably only going to get 4 laps in. We already have a little bit of company. I'm going to let him go because I can see quite a gap behind him. I think there might have been some slower cars behind this car. Lovely Forza Motorsport 2 livery on that Mercedes. I like that. Now, he's not one of the faster cars, but he seems to be wanting to get more of a move on, whereas I want to kind of warm up into this session and find some clean air. There's cars ahead and there's cars behind. It looks like we won't have clean air, but what we will do is we'll try and make the most of it down the start-finish straight now. So we have a Group 2 car in front of this. What is this GT2 car doing going very slowly? Now we're all bunched up. We're in a group of 4. They've all hit the throttle nice and early out of the corner, and they've jumped. They've made the jump for their lap. But if we don't get caught up with them, this does give us a very good slipstream for our first lap. Somebody's already set a 1:57 already. Right, interesting. Looks like we're going to have to be hot on it today, as the GT2 car outbrakes us into turn 1. This isn't meant to be a race. This is meant to be qualifying and some hot laps, but it looks like we are going to have to put up a little bit of a fight here, especially if we want to get past these 2 cars in front of us. Nicely around the outside of the GT4 car there. We have caught back up to the GT3 car that was ahead of us, that we did let through, but was probably a bad idea thinking about it now. He just came up so quickly, I thought, you know what, if he's going to go that quick, let him go. We'll have the space eventually. We've run just a little bit too shallow into those corners and lost a massive amount of time. Ah dear, I'm running wide there as well. This is why I just want that little bit of extra warm-up that we're not allowed in these sessions. So we've really got to make sure we get a move on. Oh no. Just ruined that, didn't I? Now we've even got the GT4 car on our tail again. This has been a horrendous lap. Right, okay, let's try and sort this one out, shall we? Look, we've got a bit of clean air in front of us now. balancing the throttle nicely through these corners, taking just about enough curb. Right, there we go, hugging the apex nicely there, getting back on the throttle already. Oh, track limits, really? That is going to affect our time. So I'm seeing some, oh my word, I'm seeing some 154s on the board already. That is mighty fast, mighty fast. And I think faster than we can contend with today. The car just hasn't quite felt hooked up this weekend. I know there's certainly more time in it if we can have the time to tune the car and set it up properly, but obviously we haven't got that luxury. All the other cars are playing straight out the box with the setups. So are we with well, the setup that we gave it at the start of the championship anyway. Nothing is to be changed. Right, so we really must get a move on here. So drop down the hill and back up again. I'd like to know where these other cars are making up the time, because they are on fire in comparison to yesterday's qualifying. With some of them now getting into the mid 154s, that is quick. I was kind of thinking we could improve down to maybe a 156 or even a 155, but 154, that is very quick and seems sort of very out of touch for us here. As we really test the limits over the curbs there. Loosen off the steering as much as possible. Down the start-finish straight we go now. It's definitely not going to be a 154. And I think we definitely can improve. That's a 158, really? Right. And obviously because that lap was dirtied up a little bit, that still leaves us stone cold last, even though that lap time's probably good enough for the top 10, I suppose. I would hope, anyway. But maybe this this track... Oh, we've got some 153s on the board now as well. My word, what is happening? What is happening? We just can't keep up with that. That's going to be far too much for us. Really trying to keep it pinned as we get down to the bottom of the hill now. Shifting the gears. Whoa! Once again, I said it before, and I'll say it again. Right, can't see nothing else coming. We've just about got away with that. That was a massive spin, and that's really just killed any momentum we did have. And we're not even going to get a chance for another lap. That's kind of killed our session. There is only 1 minute and 40 seconds left, which is not enough to complete another lap. So that spin there has officially seen us out of qualifying. And not just by a little bit, but by a lot. There are cars there setting times 5 seconds faster than yesterday, which I think is just bonkers. So we may need to be starting from the back of the grid, really. As we head across the start-finish line now, we've obviously got a 158. That's going to be no good, so this is just qualifying for like another practice session for us, because our times aren't going to count. We have missed out on some points. Let's just hope our closest rivals haven't picked up any points either. Yep, it's the curbs. As soon as you touch the curbs, that's it, this car goes. Whatever they've put in the curbs in this Mugello circuit, they do not agree with this car. We've touched the curbs on the brakes, on the throttle, and every time we have, it spun the car around and threw it out, which means we're finding it really hard to push here because we've got to avoid the curbs at all costs. So, what a shocker. That is it. That is our qualifying over for today. Oh my word, and we do have our closest rival picking up 3 points there in first. My word, a Group 4 car with a time of 1:58.7. Now, hold on a minute, that's bottom of the grid. Top of the grid, 1:53.2. Right, okay. Group 2s, Group 3s. There's only one Group 4 car in the top 14. And then there's us right down at the bottom. So 2:07s by the Group 4s. Well, we're definitely faster. So we're 1:58. So realistically, judging by that, I mean, we did 1:57s in practice, so we're gonna be just outside of the top 10 with the pace that we do have against all the other cars here, which is really tough considering we had such a good race last weekend. All we can really hope is that we get a really random grid for the sprint race, and we just happen to get ourselves in the mix and make up some good time. But for today's qualifying, that is us in stone cold last because we couldn't set a clean lap. Shocking, and the big spin at the end just kind of summarised it all. The car has really struggled all weekend. So yeah. Anyway, that's it for qualifying. All to play for still in the sprint race. Points are awarded all the way down to 12th position, so anything 12th or higher and we can still secure some points this weekend. So we'll be looking forward to that later on this afternoon. Until then, take care and we'll see you soon. Goodbye.